Hello again, YouTube. This is BalorMage, and we made ourselves a new mapping character yesterday. And surprise, we get to play Winter Orb. Turns out, Winter Orb, still pretty good. So just really quickly, right off the bat, for those interested, we do have Potency of Will, we do not have the second duration cluster, and we do have increased duration in our links. So the duration is definitely a lot smaller than it used to be. Because if we press the button, you'll see the stacks up the top here. And if I let go, they definitely decay a lot faster than they used to. Which is, if you're really used to the old way, it definitely feels noticeable. But it's still pumping out really good DPS. So we're going to go over why it still feels pretty good and what I'm using. For starters, inspiration support, huge, definitely run that. We've got Winter Orb, GMP, increased duration, infused channeling, and hypothermia right now. I did manage to buy this energy shield helmet with socketed spells have 3% critical strike chance, which I have 4-linked my Herald of Ice in, because why wouldn't you? With Herald of Ice, Ice Bite, increase AoE, and critical strike support, giving me a lot of crit on my Herald, so I get those juicy Herald explosions. We'll ignore the garbage that I've got in my boots right now. We'll replace that probably with something for single target. I have a cast when damage taken Frost Bomb, not really sure what to put in here. Maybe a curse, I don't know. And for now we have Discipline, Zealotry, a level 3 Enlighten, and a level 1 Precision. And just a crit and +1 to all weapons, so nothing fancy. 6-link Carcass Jack and a Badge of the Brotherhood. So the reason we're using this is we have 7 power charges by nature of being an assassin plus having all 3 on the tree, which is a good amount of power charges. That gives us 7 frenzy charges, as well as 70% increased effect of elusive. Elusive has been very nice defensively, being you take no extra damage from critical strikes is pretty huge, but then elusive initially grants 20% chance to dodge spell and attacks and 40% movement speed. Now that's its base, where it's got 25% increased effect here and another 70 from my amulet, so that gives us like 40-something% chance to dodge spells and attacks as a CI build, which is quite a nice additive layer of defense, but not super important. The reason I'm using Zealotry instead of Hatred is technically a slightly better aura, but I got my hands on a Watcher's Eye that has critical strikes, penetrate 9, and energy shield on hit. So we're using Zealotry because this pops Zealotry over Hatred. Technically, if you don't have this Watcher's Eye, Hatred is ever so slightly better. I did have a little bit of problem dealing with this trouble area of the tree, and I ended up hating it so much that I spec'd all the way around it, even though I wanted the stuff here and the stuff here. Going through here, no matter how you do it, is just so awkward, and it feels like a waste of points, and it was just better off to come that way. In the long run, I'm probably going to pick up Ethereal Feast so that I have a bit more energy shield leech. I'm probably going to pick up Ghost Reaver for more energy shield leech. And if I make it into the mid-90s, I'll pick up Light Eater for more energy shield leech. Now you can see I only have about 6k right now, and that's because for now I'm using a Carcass Jack, which I thought would be really cool for the extra area or explosions, but for an energy shield base, it is quite low on energy shield, so I'm not convinced about letting that go. I kept a Rampage belt, which is another reason my energy shield is so low, because I want extra speedy, and we have a Herald of Ice reduced mana reservation, Circle of Fear, yeah, which gives us the ability to run all of our auras. Now I would worry about divining that higher, except that we already have all of the mana we could possibly need, and between one ring having -3 to channeling skills, the inspiration support, and another -3 here on an otherwise good damage wheel anyway, I can't run out of mana. In fact, I've got too much mana. In fact, I should probably level up precision just for free crit to take up a little more space. So right now we're only level 83 and I don't have any maps prepared, so I'm just gonna run a level 83 delve to demonstrate Winter Orb still being useful. I guess a lot of people overreacted at the nerf. It seems I did start this character as a Blade Vortex character, which did fine and definitely had more single target. But I just couldn't help but think the whole time I was playing it, but I could just play Winter Orb and everything would be fine. And it is. Everything is fine. It's not quite as good as it was before, but everything dies at one hit, and so the less cast speed while you're not channeling isn't really mattering, and we've got a lot of power to gain in the next 10 to 12 levels that I will get it. So this is depth 188, which is a little harder than tier 16s, but not by a lot. I haven't done one of these nodes yet, so I imagine that this degen stuff is going to hurt. I don't know what to do here when you're not on a Fizz character. You just dodge all of the cyclones, basically? Is that... You can see the damage is all there. Whenever there's a... not an allies cannot die. We're handling it very well for a low-level character. The use of a Dying Sun, I think, in a build like this is almost mandatory because it is both a projectile and an area skill. And having both area overlapping and extra projectiles means you doubly benefit from a Dying Sun. And for me, that becomes pretty much mandatory. So we've got our Speedy Boy Quicksilver, a Antifreeze Diamond, a Quartz Flask with Curse, and a Bleed Flask for a Stibnite, which we don't really need a Stibnite, but I haven't been bothered to re-roll it. I was thinking about probably using a different flask for that, maybe a Sulfur Flask, though we won't benefit from the regen. So the things that have changed massively is because of the way that the duration is now, it's not really worth getting both duration clusters because that's a lot of extra travel to get down there. I have considered anointing it, but when I bought this amulet, it was already corrupted with Heartseeker, which is crit multi that I can't get to, and I just haven't felt like it would matter a lot. And to demonstrate what I mean is we'll have a look again at how quick it decays. You can see it's rather quick up here in the corner that it decays, but if we take out increased duration, which is 71% right now, it's not that much slow, like it's not that much faster. And I've been considering just putting in faster casting instead of the increased duration gem, so that I can just get stacks back up quicker and fire faster, and it just doesn't seem like it makes as much of an impact as before. And I feel like maybe if I were to be able to channel it quicker instead, that would feel better. Though certainly with the tree how it is and coming to Foresight anyway, there's no way I'm not going to get at least that one duration cluster that I'm next to. But I don't know, I'm tempted to drop. I'm very, very tempted to drop the increased duration gem for faster casting. So we're definitely going to play around for the next day or two. The main reason we've taken a small break from delving to make a new mapper is that I have a buttload of master missions, but not very many Nikos left. And I would like to, I've got some stuff I want to double corrupt. I wouldn't mind getting some beasts. I'm probably never going to touch Jun ever again, so we don't worry about that. And we wouldn't mind hunting down some Cortexes. So I kind of wanted a relatively quick bosser, and I didn't want to go back to a character I already had, so here we go with a Orb Assassin. I'm pretty happy about it. Nothing else too special about my gear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've had a lot of fun playing it so far, although I've only been leveling, and I'm pretty keen to see how it goes in the end game. I might try and take it into a boss fight or two once I get a little bit more energy shield. We kind of focused a little bit on damage early and thought we'd go for a bit more tankiness later because it's soft core. Why wouldn't you? So yeah, this should be fun. I'm really happy that Warp still works. The death of Winter Orb was greatly exaggerated. Alright, I will include a path of building to how this character is in the description below. I'm gonna suggest, if you like the idea, to maybe wait a day or two until I nut out what changes need to be made and what actually feels the best before jumping straight into it, but I will link its current position below. Alright. I am BalorMage. I will see everybody later.